Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. My name is Scott Carpenter. I am a personal trainer turned multiple gym owner and investor who's already been through the rock bottom and near bankruptcy in the fitness business. But I've been lucky enough to come out the other side and have turned the profits of my fitness business into indestructible wealth. I'll be sharing the no bullshit strategies, tactics, and advice to win big in business and in life. So if you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or an online coach who wants to make multiple six figures in take-home profit and have the freedom with your time to actually enjoy it, subscribe now to this podcast. This is the show for you. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Profit Lifestyle for Fitness Entrepreneurs podcast. I'm your host, Scott Carpenter, of course, and I have some very special guests on. And they're with 97 Display. If you've ever heard of them, I first encountered 97 Display several years ago, and I've been personally using them for quite a while now. And I've never had them on as guests, but I think it's way more important in today's environment when we're all struggling with paid acquisition and how important organic acquisition is, how important SEO is, and how they've been really kind of mastering this space for a long time, 97 Display. So I brought on here today as special guests Ray Leak and Jonathan Gaffel with 97 Display. So welcome, the two of you.
Glad to be here, Scott.
Yeah. And so, I wanted to host this for a few reasons. Is number one, I've been using you guys for quite a few years, and you guys handle my website, which is really optimized for SEO, and conversions, which is really important. I think I speak for a lot of other gym owners when we say paid ads can be very difficult in most markets. They can still be effective, but man, is it harder. And it's a different quality and caliber of person that comes in organically. And quite often, we're just not really optimized for that. And we've got everything everywhere. We've got a go high level here. We've got a website with this. We're duct taping a lot of things together. And what interested me is, Ray, when we caught up a couple weeks ago, is that you guys have worked really hard on kind of like eliminating a lot of all these different duct tape pieces and brought it all in house. And I thought it was, and I was really impressed by it. I'm like, well, we kind of got to educate people on what's going on in the marketplace, what's working, what they need to do to start getting some of this organic traffic in. And then I saw the other stuff that you guys are doing now, and it's pretty impressive because you can do it where you can manage paid ads too for very inexpensively. Quite honest, I was kind of shocked. And then again, another gym owner I was talking to, Becky, recently came to me and she let me know of a Black Friday special that you were going to let her in on too. And so just as an FYI for everybody, there is going to be a code. I think you got to use it by the end of November or something like that, where they'll walk you through it, but I was pretty impressed. It's kind of a no-brainer for those of you who need to look into something like this. So we're going to give that to you by the end of this episode. It'll be dropped in the show link notes as well. But all that being said, Jonathan and Ray, I'll let you kind of kick it off in terms of letting people know what's going on. What have you really specialized in with 97 Display? What has been your big thing to help out gym owners and set you apart?
Yeah, Ray, let me start this off real quick. 97 Display, we've been in business for over a decade. Clearly, a lot has changed during that time. Throughout that, we've been focusing on, the fitness industry, martial arts largely, but, the broader fitness industry. We've been known for, high-performing websites. That is our claim to fame. Back when it was cool to have, a fancy, automated content management system website, we actually started developing our own in-house, giving us some, behind the scenes data on what performs and what doesn't, specifically within our industries. So really, a unique approach, and that certainly brought us pretty far. We've recognized in the past couple of years that, the industry, the game in general is changing, as it always is. And so we've really been working very hard to bring our products up to speed and just keep them competitive for the next 5 years out, as opposed to, what was necessary 5 years ago is no longer relevant. Now we're dealing with, AI answer engines and, people wanting to roll up into more kind of all-in-one dashboards. And so we are just, making sure we're staying at the forefront of that. And yeah, Ray, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, when I've been out speaking and talking at events, one of the biggest things that I think Jonathan brought up there was AI. And one of the things, AI search now is about 25% of total search. In fact, it's affected Google pretty substantially. So managing a complete online presence, not only just having the tools on our side to help you, but then you as a gym owner or managing your online presence or having someone do that for you is really critical because of the way AI is conducting searches today. So I
Hmm.
think some of the things we'll talk about today will let you know how and what kind of tools we have to help you optimize your local search because the win is all in local. And how our tools are designed for gym owners and small business owners to be able to capitalize on local search, so and SEO and AI.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Actually, this is something that we do. Like there is no shortage of marketers out there. You can, hit like hit a golf ball in any city, and you're going to hit 10 people that specialize in some sort of marketing. We are unique in the fact that we are brick and mortar, small to medium business, fitness space. And you can't use the tactics in these spaces from a year ago, even or 2 years ago or 5 years ago. You really need to know what's cutting edge in this moment. And answer engines, 25% Ray, it's probably striking the audience here as like a low amount. That number is going to skyrocket. There's no doubt about it. Just I mean, a lot of people will continue to use Google, but Google is moving that direction too. You can now go into Cheat GPT and you can get a map displayed to you to show your local results. These are things that we have to have our eyes on. And
Did you
I
say, did I hear
mentioned that
that right? Is it 25% already
That's the latest numbers I've seen is
I'm
it's already
sure
25%.
for
I'm
like
sure the numbers are
AI?
across the board too. Yeah,
AI and I mean people can go do the research, but Google has started it's impacted them pretty heavily. They had a pretty massive layoff in their Google Ads group, PPC group, because of what's going on,
yeah.
because of the
Wow.
search. So it's not being controlled by Google.
The
Where
actual number in this moment doesn't matter because we all know it's going to continue
Oh
to
yeah.
climb.
continue to
We need
Yeah.
to
grow. It's
look
good.
at,
But
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
just so much bigger than I think it would be already. I mean, you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like that just shows you.
And the
Uh,
number, like, we get reporting from 2 months ago. It's not like our
Yeah.
reporting
right.
is even real time. But the point being, and the reason I bring up, there's no shortage of marketers out there, is we are in a space where you have to be at that cutting edge, or because you're if you don't, your competitors are going to. And it is just a critical that this landscape changes so fast. It's critical to stay on top of it. Um, a specialized partner like 97 Display is the solution for it. And with our niche expertise and our proven history, like I said, 10 years plus in the industry, this is it's definitely necessary to stay on top of it.
Hmm.
And yeah,
And then as we go in, I mean, we could talk about some of the things we just released this year. And Jonathan, you want to take some of the lead on that. But
yeah,
we've released a lot of new tools this year to help you understand because as a local business, a lot of things there's things you can do yourself. And our platform is designed as a single sign-on platform so that you can see all the data. You get a weekly executive report that shows you all the data where you're standing locally,
mhm,
and how your website is performing. And then also let you know who your competitors are because a lot of
yeah,
times if you really ask a business owner or gym owner like who your competitors are, you might think you know who your competitors are, but the one thing this our system does is data doesn't lie, and it tells you who is ranking near you, and so you know who your competitors are based off of the search algorithms, whether that be AI or whether that be
Yeah.
Google search algorithms. You know where you're ranking. So
That's
that
what I
is, I
thought was
think,
pretty
very
cool.
important.
You brought up that map, right? With a grid and you can see kind of where you're relatively ranking on different keywords in the different markets near you.
And
Yeah.
local search, yep. It's all
This
Yeah.
local
is
search. It's geared
Yeah.
around your local, how people would be searching near where your facility is. Yes.
this is yeah, it's part of a broader theme at 97 Display where we know our clients are running a business and we want to make things as easy for them to digest as possible. We are, we want to be a done for you situation and give them the information they need to make smart decisions
Hmm.
from their marketing perspective. That is a really cool tool that you're speaking of. You log in your dashboard, you see a map, you click on the different keywords that we've already predefined as the biggest opportunities for you in your area, which is drastically different depending on where you live and what your
Yeah.
market is. And you see when you click on a keyword, all of your competitors listed there on the right side, everybody who ranks to the top in Google for that keyword, and a map. And it could be down to the street corner saying, okay, on this, effectively this corner of your city, you're ranking number 4 for this, but right above it, you're ranking number 2. And it's because perhaps you've got competitors kind of infringing on your space there. These are the things you need to make smart decisions. And of course, as part of what we do for you is help you make those decisions. Okay, we need to focus on perhaps pushing harder in a certain area and working with you to identify those opportunities. Yeah.
And
And
that tool also helps you with all your local business listings, helps you
hmm
to sync all your data so everything is correct and accurate. So when AI or SEO search engines through their algorithms are looking, they're looking, and there's a thing called authority score. They're looking to see, does your data match, and do you have the exact same phone number, exact same hours? So we can sync all that in our platform so that you're not going to multiple places to do that. And it also then allows for you to update that data rather quickly all in one platform as well. So it's a really that product's called Hyperlocal, and that is a really unique tool for a gym owner to understand where they're ranking locally and how to improve their ranking locally.
Yeah. Yeah. I hesitate to do this, but I'm going to equate it to like kind of a credit score type thing where you want your addresses to align, you want your name to be correct in multiple spots,
hmm
because you're dealing with systems that just read that and answer engines, AI. It's a big deal just making sure that your yeah, like you said, authority score is based on accuracy and how many times you're being referenced accurately as well. If somebody is, referencing your business as Coach Scott Carpenter and then referencing it again as Scott Coach Carpenter, that can actually confuse things, and you want to make sure those
Yeah.
are consolidated.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of things just as people have tried different providers, whether they're running ads or this, there's different phone numbers out there. Probably there's probably
Mhm.
different emails. I mean, if anybody's been in business any length of time, some of that stuff has changed. Right. And they still maybe have an outdated local landline with CenturyLink or something like that. And maybe at a certain point they got a virtual number and it's all confused everywhere quite often.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
So
and it can
one
change too.
thing I'd
You
like to,
might you might want to go and update your holiday hours or something. That
Mm,
needs to be done consistently across local business listings, and there are hundreds of different local listings out there. They're the big ones, of course, but what matters is they're all consistent.
hmm
And
and this,
unfortunately, some of them are built upon scraping others, and that scrape might have happened 4 years ago. So it's not until we actually do the deep digging that we find these things.
gotcha.
And the big thing then tying in with that, to a lot of these things, like your Google Business Review and other platforms, also allow client or customers to review your business. And so that is also this. So the next piece of that is the reputation management tool that's tied into that as well. That also allows you to auto generate responses to positive reviews, allows you then to post those, allows you to ask for reviews. But one of the big things talked about on online presence is that a lot of the tools, the AI tools, are looking across the entire landscape and they're looking at engagement. And so on these business listings, do you have positive engagement? Do you have any engagement? How often are you
hmm
getting a business review? And then are you responding to that, review? And then that piece then leads on over into social media as well. And managing online presence is very important because all of us today have probably bought something from Amazon. Well, one of the biggest things that Amazon learned very early on is this: reviews, and reviews matter. So the reality is people want to hear from other people. They don't want to just hear us talk about our business, or how good we are. They want to hear other consumers talk about us. And so managing online presence is also then taking some of our tools, reputation management, social proof tools, along with hyperlocal, tying that all together to be able to manage all that in one platform, and at the same time make sure that you are not, because you talked earlier about paid advertising, but even a paid ad, if somebody goes and searches you, which is to see how you rank, after you pop up in an ad, well, what kind of reviews do you have? Are you getting reviews, and are you responding to the reviews? And that's also critical to ensure that you're not advertising for a competitor. Because well, you advertise, you come up in a review, or come up in an ad, they go pull up the review and they see the two other people that came
Mhm.
up in the ad, or the AI search, and they've got great reviews, and you don't, or you don't respond to your reviews. That's also really critical for a local
Yeah,
business to
yeah,
manage that.
making it easy for the company to appear active, engaged online without our client having to actually do that as, I mean, as prolifically as it appears. Basically, it's kind of the holy grail. Like, try to be where search engines and AI engines pick time to do everything else. I think we're talking a lot about that couple of specific tools, but like higher level. Hopefully, it says my connection's unstable. Hopefully, I'm coming through.
You're okay.
Higher level, like view of this is our goal is to handle the various sources where you're going to receive leads, and that could be from these high converting websites that we spoke about. Like we focus heavily on optimization, and I know that's easy for us to say, but quite honestly, we are experts in it, and we've been doing it for years. And we are at the forefront of that. We also do, of course, paid ads, and our team that does that, they have a fantastic retention rate because they frankly do a good job with it. We also have automated leads, messaging, and kind
Hmm.
of like win back campaign stuff. But this all rolls up into lead management dashboards that ultimately will nurture the leads, via SMS, via like different messaging forms and these are automatic nurturing systems that will ultimately turn it into a conversion without you having to lift a finger. And that is our ultimate goal, is to remove our client from that process to the extent that we should. In some cases you have to get involved. But basically have an automated from end to end lead nurturing platform that effectively collects all of these leads from the different sources that we optimize for and brings them into your place of business. And that's where we're at. That's the spot that we want to be. We want to own that area, get really good at it, and that's what we're laser focused on.
Yeah, Jonathan, I think you're perfectly. I was going to go there and you beat me to it. So I think one of the things is we started talking about some of the embedded tools in our platform, but when you go back to the higher level, it's the AI SEO optimized websites where we have technology on the websites that continually monitor AI and SEO search. Then when we do get the lead to the website, we have AI tools on the website that are not just simple chat bots. They are true AI agents that can answer almost any question a client may have. We
Hmm.
have the ability to have that on your website. We also have then AI agents that can answer the phone and transfer the phone to a live person if that's what the person wants. And then that all leads into what Jonathan was talking about, is the AI automation, or the lead flow automation through our lead flow and lead flow IQ products that literally automate the communication back and forth with the lead, and basically get from click to customer. We want to handle from click to booking to customer, so that a gym owner is not having to chase down, um, try to get a lead, lead on the phone. The system, the systems we developed do 85, 90+% of that work for the gym owner. And they do it at 11 o'clock at night or 1 a.m. if somebody can't sleep and surfing the internet at 1 o'clock at night, and the gym owner's going to want to be responding with the tools that we've built will respond for you and
Yeah.
accurately.
Let me speak to one kind of ironic thing here. Twice now in the conversation, we have spoken about doing things at a higher level, and we're using the words high level. And
Yeah.
there's some irony there, because clearly, a lot of people use high level, and we, quite frankly, have been providing that for our clients for a long time. It's a great system. There's no doubt about it. But we knew that number one, it was, overly complex, did more than we actually need. The usability is not always great. The
Hmm.
ability for our clients to actually learn it was, in a lot of cases, they just simply, like, the steep learning curve just simply didn't match our needs. And there are hidden costs and
Hmm.
ultimately support concerns if you're not going through a company like ours where we actually help you set it up. So we definitely are fans of high level in some regard, but there's a reason why we decided to deviate away from it. And so the system, we have multiple options at this point, for clients, depending on the complexity and what the requirements are. But we certainly have learned what's to be learned from Go High Level, from High Level, and moved on from that into a better direction, knowing that our clients, we're within specific markets that have specific requirements, knowing that our clients, are going to turn to us for helping them set it up. Simplicity, getting that roll up
Yeah.
dashboard, just making it work out of the box is the name of the game. And that's what
Yeah,
clients are
I
telling
will
us.
really echo that. So go high level. There's some amazing things about it, right? But it is probably the most unuser friendly platforms. Like, it can do everything, but it's really complicated. It's difficult. It's slow. It's tough to navigate.
Yeah.
And then you still are going to connect it to a different website. You're still going to do this. You're still going to do that. And yeah, it is very powerful, but man, is it a beast to try and get your staff to learn how to do it, or to cut off, or when you have some automations when you take them out. It's just not that user friendly, and it is
Yeah.
buggy. So, um, if you're doing it, any gym owner doing it themselves knows the pain of this.
Yeah.
You probably have a VA on tap to help you, or you should, or stuff just goes unbroken, or what happens is we don't use most of it, so it just goes
Exactly.
undone. And that was neat when you showed me kind of the stuff that you guys have just built, Ray. Is like the problem is with these with gym owners, we're wearing 16 hats. And man, we just can't do that. We need
Mhm.
simpler systems that get the job done with less, more integrated. And we don't want to duct tape four services together, right? That being said, some people are working with a marketer who runs ads, and they put it into automations in GHL, and you guys integrate with that when you need to. But
Mhm.
what I like is you've kind of built a simpler, easier system to use and to run and to maintain and to have your employees check on your leads and all that kind of stuff. And it's really clean. I was very impressed with it.
And Ray, I'm probably jumping in front of you again here, and if
No,
so, I
no problem at
apologize.
all.
But you can try to do it yourself. You can implement a system
Mm-hmm.
like this. High level is, an option, a good option for some people. If you have the time, if you have the knowledge and the skill set, sure. What we find with our clients is they prefer to have a partner that is able to guide them, and do it where it's not like some, massive, onboarding fee to try to
Mm.
get through these heavy things. We actually focus on what clients are looking for, and they want a reasonably low monthly payment for somebody who handles all of the different things here that are involved to make sure the holistic whole system is, going to succeed. And that's the position we take, and we find that it's actually, I mean, it works well. We get really great feedback on it.
Yeah.
Ray,
Yeah.
did I,
It's,
did I
it,
pull
it's,
those words out of
it's,
your mouth? Good.
yeah, go ahead,
So,
Ray.
so I was going to say, I think one of the biggest things is that out talking to, at events, talking to people that I've learned is that like when they see the system, Scott, you brought up a great point of wow, I got to learn this system. And I talked to people, and I won't mention other other softwares that are out there. Well, it took me 3 months to go through to get it all set up right. And so we have some templated processes that we walk through. So we get you set up. We partner with you on the setup side, getting everything connected. And then we have a great account management account team that works with you so that if you do have questions, we have learning tools that can help teach you the product. We also, you can get on the talk to someone, and some of our team is as gym owners. One of our person that on our team is a gym owner, and so she understands, the small gym owner at that. So she understands the complexity of, like, how do I do all the things that you were talking about, Scott, and still run my gym and have fun running my gym, and do the things I know I need to do in order to bring in clients and to manage my online presence. And I think that's what we've tried to build here is a tool. We haven't even talked about it, but you can create social media content in there very quickly. Sat down with a gym owner a couple of weeks ago and was doing a demo, and she's like, "Wow, I could spend an hour and build out my entire content for all my
Yeah,
platforms because it can publish to all the platforms,
that
not
was
just one."
impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I keep saying when I'm telling everybody listening that I was very impressed with things. So when you look at like everything that was stacked on inside of this thing, it's really impressive. Like, yeah, you can see where you're ranking on these maps. You can do all that kind of stuff, that hyper local stuff. The websites themselves I've been using for years, right? And they do their job, right? They do a good job on SEO. They do a good job on conversions. Then you have all the hyper local kind of stuff that's on there. And then you also pulled up exactly what you're talking about, where it is a pain in the ass to get everywhere and do everything, to post on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, X, and TikTok and those things. And you have that whole thing built in there. And it's one thing to like have it built in, but it's another thing to like, can we get it to the point where we can just press play?
Yeah.
Right. And again, like I use Go High Level for coaching stuff, but man, is it not a very pleasant experience for me or anybody on my team. Right. And I do have somebody on tap that does that stuff. I have that for my, the business coaching stuff that I do, but it is not fun. And again, we make use of the fraction of the services. They're kind of all choppy and they don't always work that well together. But yeah, in this, just to even just post across all the platforms is pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Because we all know we need to be doing these things, but do we have the time to do it? And, quite often the answer is no. And it's
Yeah.
because, I've got this thing doing this. I've got to log into that one. I can't remember the password. I haven't logged into that thing in 5 months. And it's all disjointed and everywhere. And at the end of the day, we just need a simpler option.
Yeah. Yeah. There's another layer to this that is perhaps sits a level above like the individual gym owner, and that is our capabilities with franchises, partners, and multi locations, having a roll up dashboard of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, where you can have, let's say you want to have, predefined workflows and communications across those accounts. Um, it's and of course unified local business listing content, that kind of thing, where you have like a more broad view of the whole thing. This is a really powerful part of it that we are starting to, it's built into it. We're starting to explore this with different franchise owners and partners, and I believe that there is a lot of opportunity there, and I think it's going to be enticing for some people.
Yeah. Yeah. You
Um,
know what? I just got the idea of right now. I mean, when I hold my Tuesday calls, shoot, if it aligns with you guys, I'd love for you guys to give a demo to the people. Because I was kind of blown away on it, and they'd love to see it too, I'm sure.
yeah.
And again, just you guys are running a really cool thing for Black Friday, and we'll give you a link to it. But and I think you said after Black Friday, this link you'll replace it with another thing. So even if you're listening to this in December, you're listening to this in March of 2026, you can go to that link and it'll be some special of some sort, right?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Absolutely.
but just because it's super relevant because Black Friday's coming up, and depending on when this gets posted, and my editor's in the Philippines, so he's actually a little bit behind. They got slammed with a big typhoon. So he
Okay.
might be a slightly delayed in getting this out as he doesn't have a home right now. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, pretty crazy how they got hit. But
Wow.
you guys, I learned about it from Becky. I'm like, oh wow, that's kind of amazing. But what's the thing that you have going on for Black Friday as well? Because I don't
So Black
completely
Friday, we're
remember it.
running our lowest price of the year on two different products. So we have our complete package, which we call our Growth IQ platform, which includes, as you talked about, our SEO, AI, industry specific, optimized website with AI chat and AI
Mm,
voice and the whole hyperlocal, social proof, everything all embedded into one platform, one sign on. Um, and that is 447, which is our lowest price of the year. It's significantly lower than we normally do, several $100 to be matter of fact. And so that's promotion one. And then promotion two is we can bolt on the social proof and hyperlocal onto your existing website. So we have that promotion running as well. And that is at 147 a month right now. So that would be where you're just getting the hyperlocal and social proof reputation management tools. And then the other one is the complete package with brand new website, the AI, SEO optimization, AI tools built into it, and a complete dashboard where we didn't get into, but it monitors, shows you the conversations that your AI is having, either with when it answers the phone or on your website. It has a
mm.
complete AI lead flow follow up process built into the platform, so it follows up with your leads automatically. So those are the two, and we'll continue to run promotions and obviously the product we feel is at a great price point as a standalone. But during the holidays, take advantage. And oh, by the way, if you do this between now and the end of the year, either November or December, there is no payments until 2026. There is a $1 onboarding fee, but no payments until 2026.
Yeah,
That's
I
awesome to have.
challenge anybody. I was just gonna say, I challenge anybody to find anything with that amount of value packed in at that price point. Like he's understating everything that's included. It
Yeah.
really is a great deal.
Yeah, it's a lot, and a lot of times the onboardings are two, three, four plus $1,000 too, $5,000 I've seen for stuff like this, and so it's really cool because yeah, and they have different options on this stuff. So like, I encourage anybody if you just need a website, if you're looking for like, man, our CRM sucks, or I'd love to get out of Go High Level, or this or that, and all these different things, I would really encourage you just like hop on a call with these guys and have them walk you through it.
Mhm.
Can promise you, you will be impressed. You will probably find areas of opportunity, and they do make it really easy to switch. When I switched to you guys a few years back, it was probably the most seamless experience I've ever had. I mean, other gym owners feel my pain when they know switching systems or something like that. It's a beast, can be
Mhm.
a beast. But I don't know how you guys run it behind. You're just on a kind of a different caliber. I think a lot of what we get into, some of these things are built by other people who own gyms, but they're also kind of doing that. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's like disjointed and it's great on the sales call, but on the implementation, you're like, oh my God, kill me. Like
Yeah.
this is not a pleasant experience and the support isn't quite there. I do have to say that like you guys are just on a different level with that. Um, on the support angle, on the implementation angle, I've never had a problem. And I think it's been like 4 5 years or so. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know.
We're heavily focused on just that human experience. And ironically, I'd like to just talk briefly about the AI end of it. But while we're on this, the human experience, the being able to call, get to a support team member.
Mm-hmm.
Each client has their own account representative, and these are people that are well versed, that aren't just put in place, and they know what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it really shows. I mean, clients are typically extremely happy about our onboarding process, support system, the
Mm-hmm.
handoffs between those. It's great. The AI end, I just want to point this out just to anybody who's listening that cares to hear it. The sentiment out there is very interesting. Some people are really on the bandwagon, some people are really not. And I understand that, our client base and just the verticals that we operate in, it's still a mixed bag. But quite honestly, there are people that are, probably will never want to put an AI digital receptionist in place. We're not forcing any of this stuff. It doesn't need to be AI first for any particular client if they insist not. But I personally believe the proof is in the pudding. If I can point to conversions being significantly higher with XYZ tool,
Hmm.
or as if we take it to the next level and we do offer this digital receptionist, somebody calls in and let's say they call at 3 p.m. You're in the middle of a lesson, you can't pick up that phone. That lead is already gone. They've already called the next person on the list.
Yep.
It is better to have an automated system pick that up in most cases, and explain, what the hours are, how to get started. And these systems are smooth enough now where it really is a good experience for the end user, for the lead themselves. So the chat bots, digital receptionists that are all built into this, feeding into our platform, are worthwhile, and I encourage everybody to give them a shot. But we won't force them on you if you don't want to use them. It's definitely an interesting time in that regard.
Yeah. I have to say I would agree wholeheartedly with that. And it is difficult for us to get to phones for the majority of gym owners. It is.
Hmm.
And here's the thing, my stance on AI, I wish it didn't exist.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's a horrible thing for society, all
Yeah.
in all, as is social media. I mean, there's some good things that have come that are definitely will come out of both.
Shoot, we
But
got
I
to
think it's a
scrub that part.
net.
I don't want AI hearing us say that we wish it didn't
Yeah,
exist.
yeah, no kidding. Just kidding, right? That being said, guys, that's the world.
Hmm.
So it's adapt or die, and you can only resist things for so long. I mean, I resisted social media when it first came out to my detriment. I was slow to the game when it came to paid ads and what you could do on it. And it's gotten so difficult now, right? But like you need to get ahead of this stuff. And I think that's another thing too, is you guys do run paid ads, right? And I was very impressed by how much you guys actually charge on it. It is not a lot. And should everybody run ads? Not necessarily, depending on where you're at and everything, but a lot of us do need to run ads to supplement. And you guys actually do that as well. And you can keep legitimately everything in house, from your review management to your website to a much easier to use CRM, your social proof, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
AI receptionist, AI chatbot. And I don't know of any other company that hits the easy button, as well, and does it without all the mistakes that I've had experience with other places too.
Yeah, that's our goal, and honestly, our commitment to all of our clients, just to continue pursuing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe in, and I mean, not prompting for this thing, but if you haven't read it, Scott, I think we might have talked about it, the book called The Go-Giver. And I think what our job here is to empower gym owners to be able to run their business as efficiently and effectively as they can, and to engage with their the membership and as well as leads. And we want to give you the tools to be able to do that effectively, as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. And I think one of the things that we look at is, in any kind of sport, there's fundamentals, the foundation of, what do you do first in order to be good at it? And that's what we do. We do websites well. We do now this
Mhm.
new platform will allow you to do social media, managing your reputation. We do all that well. And then it's up to, at that point, if we need to add paid, but it's also then up to, as you build your reputation locally, one of the things we didn't talk about, but as you get a strong reputation, your word of mouth referrals is sometimes your strongest business. And that's what this tool allows you to do, is to build the processes so that that can also help you, win in the local market. Because, a lot of times, everybody seems, when you look at it, most people know somebody that knows somebody. So
Mhm.
it's a small world to a point, especially in the local marketplace. And we want to see the gym owners win. Our goal is to see them win.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
excellent. I have a quick question too, just based on AI. So yeah, people are using AI to search, right, for their problems and for solutions, and they're doing it locally. And it's going to be, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? It is. What are some things to do to get on the radar? What's the on the back end to get on the radar for that?
So, yeah, it's a great question. And in the past, let's just talk about SEO because it's kind of the clearest parallel situation. So you would look towards references in the form of links within HTML. And perhaps some links are valued higher than others, depending on, the page rank, so to speak, um, of that other entity that's linking to you. Sometimes it can be detrimental if it's a spamming site
Mm-hmm.
linking to you or something to that effect. AI, you can look at it much more as just kind of natural language as opposed to the HTML portion. Like the coding end of it behind the scenes is actually stripped out. It is looking for actual like references where people are talking about you, even not necessarily in written text, but in the form of a podcast or in press releases. So you're looking towards, I actually I was doing a presentation on this a couple months ago and talking about how, we could potentially see the revival of some older forms, older mediums, because it's less about that link and more about the natural conversation.
Mm.
Because it's processing all of that in a way that just Google couldn't scrape. Google can't scrape all of that stuff and
Right.
aggregate it all. AI can. And the way that we're interacting with it is also going to change. I mean, I personally don't go into ChatGPT or Gemini or, Grok and say, get me a local ice cream store. And I don't do that, but there are people that already are. That percentage is going to continue to increase. But the medium in which we're accessing these things is changing. Google itself is giving us AI answers
Yeah.
just in an instant right there. It's doing that because it has to, not because they want to. Trust me. There are some interesting questions though. Like, are they going to start including paid advertising into that? Some models are playing around with that to an extent, but it's not widespread at all. You are getting true organic results, and I'm very much. And I really hope they don't introduce paid into the actual LLM aggregated output. It's like it
Yeah.
would really mess things up a bit. But I'm sure that it's already being tweaked to an extent, depending on what platform you're looking at.
And
Um, yeah, go ahead.
so, and what I read an article this morning that told me that how big Yelp has become in the AI search algorithms because it is looking, as Jonathan said, for how people are engaging, and that is a platform where people engage a lot about a business. Now, maybe that might not affect gym owners as much, but a lot of other businesses. It was
Mm-hmm.
telling, any kind of platform where there is, people can respond about a business which ties back into why I said social media earlier and engaging and all that stuff, asking for reviews and getting reviews is because that's what it's looking for. Is what it's looking is their relevancy to your website and what you say you are, and then what is that engagement with that with all your different platforms out there, and what are people saying you are, and it's rating what people are saying you are. From what I've read, higher than what what your websites are important, but it's also, it's saying, okay, what are other people saying about you?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's another end of it that I didn't speak to actually specifically to answer your question. On your website, things like structured data are key. Making sure both on the front end of the site, on the back end of the site, behind the scenes like the HTML, having clear hours of operations, clear list of products, no conflicting content. Um, it's the analysis of data is just becoming so much more broad than what Google was doing before to rank us. And quite honest, there's a black box effect as well. Like we don't fully know in some cases why it's
Mm-hmm.
giving one answer over another. It's a really interesting time.
Yeah. It's just wow. It's just going to continue to change so incredibly fast. I mean, if you just look at the last 15 years and how everything has changed, it's
Oh yeah, and it's about
wild.
to get flipped upside down again.
Yeah.
We're just in this kind of road. But you can
Yeah.
expect that 97 display, not too far off from 15 years old. You can expect that we will be on top of it for the next 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Guys, these are pros. Like the team that they have, like I said, it's on another level. It's not a gym owner who decided to kind of like also get into this, right? There's
Yeah.
on the tech side, I mean, they have some brilliant people. I've been lucky enough to meet several of you over the years, and yeah, it's pretty top notch. So I highly encourage if anybody needs a better website, if anybody is looking for a simpler option on things, and don't worry, they can, if you still like who you're using with a GHL and this and that, it can be integrated too. But if any of these things touched on something that you can do better or need to do period because you just can't do it, I would highly advise that you hop on like a demo call and like learn more about this kind of stuff. And like I said, the link, we're going to leave it in the podcast show notes, but I think I have it right here also. If you go info.97display.com/PT-legends, you will get that Black Friday option on there, and you can hop on a call with somebody, I believe. And if you're listening to this late, there will be whatever that current special or sale is, you'll still be able to get from that page too. So if you're listening to this in Q2 next year, you can still check out the link in the podcast notes, and you'll have something there for you. Absolutely. But
Yep.
yeah, this is fascinating. And you guys are actually joining me at the summit that we're doing February 12th and 13th in Scottsdale. So
Correct.
you guys can meet, the listeners can meet the team at 97 Display and answer questions as well there. And it's always great because I met you guys in an event a few years ago. That's how I got introduced to you. Awesome. And again, we've been working together since. So it's been pretty great, but you'll be able to get to meet him in Scottsdale, February 12th and 13th if you're coming to the Gym Profit Summit, which I highly advise you do. But in the meantime, guys, yeah, go check him out, 97 Display, and use that link and set something up and learn more about it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely.
Excited to be here today. Look forward to the event in February as well.
Yeah. Thank you guys for spending the time, and everybody do the whole like and subscribe. Send this to somebody. If you know they need a website, if you know they need some tech help, send this to them as well. Have them learn a little bit and hop on a call. But thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next week on the podcast. Listen, if you're stuck and could use some advice in your business, whether you're just starting out, a veteran in the business, or expanding online or into multiple locations, you can hop on a free call with us to pick our brains at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. You can see that in the show notes. That is with numbers. Chances are we'll be able to help you get some clarity on what you need to do specifically in your business to get to the next level. It's not a sales call. We'll connect you with the right resources to help you solve your problems. But if you want to learn more about working with us, that's cool too. We can share that information should you want it. So book your call now to get out of the rat race before your week consumes you, which is easy to do at ptlegends.com/one-on-one call. That's with the number 1 on the number 1 call. You can find this in the show notes. See you soon.